everybody. This is Angie with I Feel the Rush here in Brillion, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining me again. Thanks for joining me a little later than normal. There was other things going on tonight, but I am here and ready to show you something fantastic. So here in Wisconsin, we are working our way into duck season. We're getting a start on deer season. So for those of you who hunt around here, you are spending a lot of time out in the marsh right now. Except when it's wet. You're kind of going to have to move into the woods a little. So what I wanted to show you is we spend so much time out there and everything is so beautiful. For those of you who haven't been with us before, the premise for our channel is to share ideas for you to bring the outdoors in so you can continue to relive those experiences and memories time and time again, not just when you're in the woods, because we're not always out there, although we'd love to be. So I thought, why not bring some of the stuff that we've seen out there the last few weeks inside, you know, whenever possible, because it's going to start to freeze and things are going to start to die off. So I want to take advantage of them while we can. So I'm going to show you some examples of what I brought in. And not only that, we also like to share ideas for you to do things that are inexpensive. That's super important for us because like you, there isn't a lot of extra money, but we still want to have beautiful things inside. So I'm going to show you some examples and please comment below if you like them, like this video and share it with your friends if it's something you think they might like as well. Keep in mind, if you don't spend time out in the marsh, you can get these things, faux cattails or grasses, all that from Hobby Lobby, Walmart, you name it, you can get it, Amazon. But for those of you who do spend time out there, you can take a few clippings on your way back from a day out in the woods or out in the marsh and bring them inside. But I will give you some tips as we go along the way that I've just learned today. So first things first, what I was working with as far as materials, and what we're making is table centerpieces because we're working our way into fall and Thanksgiving and Christmas. So it's always nice to have a little something that's fall-ish as a centerpiece, maybe something you want to give to your boss at work, or you want to put something on your table in your office to give that outdoor feel while you're spending time inside, which we like to do very little of. So we're working with cattails. We're going to work with some greenery, some feathers, some antlers. So I'm just going to get started. If you have any questions, drop them below. I'll check it out afterwards and we'll see what you think. So I'm going to start smallest to biggest. So here's some cattails, for example. I went with a small glass jar and you can use whatever you want. Get creative on that front. And as always, get creative. These are just tips on small suggestions on how you can do this. Go crazy. Let the creative juices flow and come up with your own versions of some of these. So what I will tell you with the cattails, now as I kind of hinted to this morning, the key to the cattail is to get out there early enough that I'll pull one out here, that they're completely solid. You want them as firm as can be. And these actually work particularly nice because we got them from a drier area. You tend to find them in the marsh, but you want them to be super, super firm because what will happen is, and we Googled it, there are about 25,000 seeds inside of a cattail. So if you're familiar with cattails, you'll know that once they start to blow, there will be seeds floating all through your house for days, maybe weeks or months. There's probably a lot floating around here. But if you catch them early enough and you keep them firm like this, they will essentially dry out. Hey, Alan, thanks for joining us tonight. So they will dry out. Just keep them out of water. And it does say if you want to leave them flat, you can. I put them right in a vase and I let them dry out. Now, as you have them standing, I would spray them with some, I got some greens. I would spray them with some hairspray. Just buy some cheap hairspray, spray the whole thing. It doesn't change the effect at all, but it will just help to give it a little bit more security as far as keeping those things in while it dries. And once it's dry, as long as it didn't blow up on you, you should be able to keep them as long as you want to, just like this, and reuse them time and time again in different displays or whatever. What you will notice is if it starts to blow, it'll start to like expand a little bit and you're gonna wanna get that outside in the garbage as soon as possible, because otherwise, like I said, they're gonna spread all over the place. So I've probably got, and I'll show you a few more in some of our other displays, but I've probably got 20 or 30 of these now, and most of them are staying intact. I had 2 or 3 really big ones start to blow up, and I just got rid of those. So that's what I used, and so hairspray on those. And then, so what else I have in this one is just some little greens. You know, those were just out in the field as I was coming back from duck hunting one day, and I just thought they were so cute, so I included those. So this one's super, super simple. I just went with cattails. I did pick some other like grasses, some wheat kind of looking stuff. I'm not a farmer, don't get me wrong if I get the names of some of these things wrong. I just know they're all pretty. So yeah, so this one, some greens, some cattails, a jar, and boom, you're done. And the good thing about this is you don't have to put water in here. If you want to dry those cattails out, keep the water out of this thing, keep it dry, and you can have it sitting out as long as you want to. If you wanted to keep it when you were all said and done, for next year, get a big box, big flat box. You could take these cattails out, put them in a box, wrap some tissue paper in there, and they should hold as long as they stay dry. Okay, number 2. This is a big bushy one. Now, the people from Wisconsin or anywhere in the Midwest where you live in a marshy area, you might laugh at me because some of the things that I think are pretty are really just weeds. But what you'll notice on this big bushy baby is that it's actually like something that grows amongst the corn, amongst the cattails, and it is, I believe, an invasive species to this area, but I think it's beautiful. I thought, why not stick a whole bunch of these in a pot and just use them as a centerpiece? So you could go simple. I'll show you another one where I did include some other things. Foxtail, Alan, I don't know. Chris Gady's watching also. Chris, is this foxtail? I don't know. But it's beautiful. I'll hold it close. You can see it's got tons of seeds. I can see why nobody would want this in the marsh. So I was actually helping by clipping some of this out. So that's number 2. It's just a big, bushy, beautiful centerpiece like this. So there's that. I want to jump in and say, for those of you who don't spend much time outside clipping things, we, around this house, like to use the Easy Cut because I cannot tell you how comfortable and how easy it is to use. So anybody from this area that sees me running around the marsh with this pink thing, it's Easy Cut. Get one. I can cut almost anything with this thing. Not almost. I can cut anything. So it's awesome. I love it. Number 3, I'll show you this big baby. All right, so because the picture frame is a little small, I'm going to try to show you as best I can. Now this, I just took a massive amount of cattails, and as an effect, I did show you, I did stick an antler in here. What you can do is, and I did it on this one, if you have some small antlers, drill a little bit of a hole in the bottom, put a stick, it's like a skewer stick. I have greens everywhere. It's like a skewer stick. Put a skewer stick in the bottom, and you can stick that inside of your whatever centerpiece you decide. You could go with big antlers, small antlers. It really depends on the size that you're going for. But anything that you want to put inside here that isn't actually tall, you can put on these skewer sticks. Little hot glue, little tape. You don't have to get fancy, and just stick those in here. And if you need a longer one, just stick 2 of these together. Make it taller. So in here what I have is cattails, cattails, cattails. I did put some purple flowers in there just because I saw them today and they're so pretty, just to give you an effect. But if you have a big table, just some wild flowers with some cattails. I just love it. I come in the house and I think, it's like being out in the marsh when you can't be out in the marsh. No, oh, maybe that one is gonna start to blow. I'll show you an example of a cattail that looks like it's about to try to explode on me. So you'll notice here that it's kind of getting a little bushier. That's a cattail that wants to get rid of all of its seeds. What I will say is mostly the ones that I've noticed that do release them or tend to blow up are the real chunky ones. I love those ones, but keep an eye on those ones in particular because those are the ones that generally want to explode. So this was idea number 3. Before I move on to the next 2 that I have to show you, I wanted to mention a couple things. Bugs. These are wild flowers. These are have been outside. They're in the marsh. Make sure you shake off your plants real good before you come inside. If they're like more planty, like I'm going to show you, where it has a lot of bushiness, make up some bug spray. You can Google that, and they have tons of different ways that you can do that. Soap recipes, vinegar, all sorts of things. And thirdly, keep an eye out for, just things. I've had a few little things float out of them while I was working on these. So maybe if you have a porch, when you first make it, put it out on the porch, spray it with some of the mixture that you create, and just give those little critters a little chance to head out. So we'll see what I encounter here. I did encounter a little bumblebee or a little honeybee, whatever it was, but I let them back outside. It's okay. So the next one I'm going to show you is, woo, look at this. I love this one, although I will tell you, these little sunflowers are coming to the end of the season from out in the woods here. So they look a little less than fancy, but you're going to get the general idea. So I'm going to show you as best I can. I put in some of those real tall things back here. I put in some beautiful, really thick cattails here in the middle. Some really nice looking sunflowers would be a beautiful addition to this. This is a nice pretty one right here. So some little sunflowery looking wildflowers here. And then I did add, and I just wanted to give you this as an idea, I wanted to put in some pheasant feathers here. Now you could do anything. You could get really, really creative and use some of these and put duck feathers on there or turkey feathers. I have all sorts of ideas. So get creative, put some things in there to kind of spruce it up. So you can see it's difficult to tell from here, but I've got 4 or 5 pheasant feathers in there as well. So cattails feathers, fluffy, weedy things. I don't know, maybe Ellen called it a foxtail. We'll call it a foxtail for this show. Yeah, so and then add some sunflowers in there, and this is a really nice big one. As you can see, this is a big tabletop one. So yeah, so that's an amazing idea. So give that a try. And really, I mean, when you're thinking about time, cost effectiveness, if you bought something like this from the flower shop, obviously support your local flower shops. For the sunflowers, maybe. These I just picked wild, so you get what you get out there. But, you would pay a lot of money to put this together when you can really get all these supplies out in the marsh, including the feathers. I'm sure you know someone who's probably a hunter, or you can get these online, or message me and we have those, so we can definitely help you out. So yeah, so this is one of the ideas, and my favorite of the evening is the pumpkin centerpiece. So this one is super, super simple, and I think it's where my bumblebee came from. But some yellow wildflowers, like daisy type things. I stuck some cattails in there, and all I did was, and now is the perfect time for the pumpkins because they're fresh, they're firm, and it was awesome. I just cut the top out like I was going to clean it out. What you can do is put a glass inside of here. So just cut the hole as big as you want to. Put a little glass container in there or a Tupperware container in there. Hey, how are you? Thanks for joining us. And then if you want to put water in there, then you can. If you just want this for like a special occasion, you have family coming over or you have an event and you just want it for the day or two, you don't have to put water in there, keeping in mind we just talked about the cattails, and if you want to keep them dry and use them time and time again, you're going to want to keep this dry as well and not put water inside. But super cute idea. I love this. I really want to try it with a smaller pumpkin. Put some littler ones in there, but this little pumpkin was a little too firm, so I would probably need like a really heavy duty knife to get into it. I think it's a cooking pumpkin. So get creative like that. You got littler ones, you could just put a couple cattails in there. So yeah, so this is the final one. What else did I want to tell you? We talked about bug spray, drying the cattails, using hairspray. Keep an eye on them for, blowouts so you don't have little seeds all over the place. But for those of you who are just joining us, we're just talking about ways to bring the marsh or the field inside to give us that feeling that we're out duck hunting or deer hunting when we can't be during the week. So this is one of the examples. I'll just recap and show you the other ones I did. We started out with the small one. We went with the foxtails. I love this one. It looks so like, I don't know, fancy or something. Like I should have a dress like this. Wouldn't that be something? Make a dress out of those? I could. You never know. This big beauty. I love this. I wish I'm gonna have to get some sunflowers that are a little more fresh. With the feathers, the pheasant feathers in there. And then this one. So again, I really like the ones that really have a lot of cattails in, because when I'm out in the marsh, I love the cattails. I just love to look at them, and just makes me feel, very outdoorsy and embracing the wild, the chilly mornings. So who out there is a hunter? Who out there spends time out hiking, walking in the woods? Let me know. Let me know if you spend time out there, if you ever think that these are as pretty as I think they are. If you have any other suggestions on how to use them. How do you use them? Well, Ron Davis did say he never made a centerpiece, but he made a duck blind out of it. So there's that, obviously. We'll be doing that this weekend too. But I'd like to hear how you guys use them. Share some ideas. That's what I love about this community, is we've had great ideas that we've been sharing, inspiring others to bring the outdoors in and make beautiful memories, to be able to relive those and share with others. So if you do something like this, please take a picture, drop it in the comments below, or send it to me. If you like this idea, like the video and share it with your friends. And we're just really looking forward to you enjoying this. Again, you can do this now. You can dry them now and save them for Thanksgiving, for a get-together, for Christmas, or maybe a wall hanging, something permanent. So get creative. Let me know what you think. Thank you again for joining me. Thanks for joining me a little bit later this evening. I appreciate it. And as always, we will join you again next Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central, with more ideas on making memory decor and bringing the outdoors inside. So thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Bye.